Rachel. Um, my involvement with YWCA started when I was in college. In fact, Laila Kasa, she got me involved with YWCA, and there was this whole program at Bangalore where we were working on environmental issues, basically creating awareness on not using plastic. So we started this whole campaign, and then my involvement with YWCA started once again when I started working as a lecturer at Bishop Cotton Women's Christian College. I can say I was at the right place at the right time. That's the time when, as a teacher, I was given the responsibility to get involved with these clubs like SEM, etc. And YWCA was also, lacking. I wouldn't say lacking. There were young people, but not an active membership of young people. And I was there at Cotton's, and I found that there were a lot of young people who have vision, passion, some kind of understanding on social justice, human rights issues, and I started talking to them about the YWCA. Now, there were a lot of misconceptions that the YWCA is a Christian movement, in the sense that they assume that everything that happens has some sort of Christian connotation. Yes, we have our roots on Christian values, but I kept telling them how the movement is secular in nature, and that's how I started encouraging, Christians, non-Christians to get involved with the YWCA. And we started a small unit. We started off with one student, and we went to Palankote for the Southeast Regional Conference, and then we started having 2, 3, 4, and the unit grew. And being convener of this unit helped me in sort of linking the college students along with the YWCA, and we started calling it the Y unit. We did lots of things in the sense that we started networking with SCM, which is the Student Christian Movement India, as well as Greenpeace in terms of environmental issues. And we had 2 young people, Manila and Naitika, who came to Orissa for the pre-youth convention. And they went back, and we took the theme of the conference, who is your neighbor, and started working on the college campus, talking about how some of the trees were cut on our campus. So some of the students went and wrote a very strong letter addressing this and asking the principal, why did you cut the trees? So they came up with this justification that it was unsafe, the trees are old, and that's why we cut down the branches. But they started questioning, which is something that started this whole process of getting young people involved. Now, sustaining this youth involvement in the YWCA is a challenge, because you need to help them to take some kind of initiative and help them to come up with ideas. It can't be something that we tell them this is it, do this. And we had the young people coming up with their own ideas for programs. They started a small theatre group, and we had them do small little skits or choreograph something that was related to human rights-based issues. And we also addressed a lot on violence of women, especially after the Mangalore Club incident, because it was something that was in the news, the media was talking about it, and then we started addressing issues that also young people can identify with, because each of them comes from a certain background, or they see things that are happening around them, started addressing these issues. We would meet regularly, every week we would meet, and we had a program on environment. They would participate in rallies and programs organized by Greenpeace, also network with SCM and attend programs at SCM, actively involve themselves. They were in the PR, PASI, program committee, religious committee. Along with Bible studies, we also had a lot of leadership programs. We had, I had this regular mentoring thing that was happening. And that's also important, because sometimes they need you to, sort of tell them where they're going, or they want to come to you and ask you why is it like this, or you just tell them who they can talk to about certain things. So that's one thing that's important when you're involving young people, is mentoring, because sometimes they are passionate and they do have brilliant ideas, but they also need guidance on how to go about it. Sometimes it can be very impulsive. good. Spontaneous is good, but sometimes we also need to have some sort of framework on how we work on these things. So these were some of the things that we did: environmental issues, women's rights, and some of the students are actively involved with other organizations. So they started linking us with these organizations, and they started their own. They started a blog, so they could address these issues. We had intercollegiate festivals so that we would invite other colleges to come and give them options of either writing their own song, reciting a poem, putting up a drama on different issues. That's a way of also creating awareness in other colleges that we have this thing called YWCA, this movement association called YWCA. This is what we do. And take their contact details, get back to them, ask them to get involved. Currently in Bangalore, we have a unit in 3 colleges, and let's hope that it continues to grow. And what happens is, sometimes what happens is when it's associated to a college, you assume that it's a separate entity, which isn't true, because it is part of they come under PR, and they do YWCA. They are associated with the YWCA. But what happens is you empower them to also to start their own initiatives, to start creating awareness among their classmates, their friends. And most students who go out, they leave college, they continue to be involved. At the moment, those below 18, they pay the student membership fee and get involved. But once they turn 18, I always encourage them to take a full membership so that they get actively involved in different capacities of the YWCA. That's what was happening in Bangalore. And
so do they also get then later on become part of the leadership?
Yes, many of the young women have actually got on the board. They've taken roles on the board. Some of them are very good at taking sessions. They actually go in and they can take sessions on different issues.
So that's a nice way of engaging the women culturally and in social issues.
Right.
And what are the changes that you've seen, and how have you seen a growth in them individually?
Yes, I have. I take a sort of personal interest in each of the members who are involved, and I do see that they come in. Sometimes they come in very reluctantly, and it's like small baby steps. But I have seen that they've grown so much in terms of knowledge, in terms of personal growth, spiritual growth, and growth in terms of what they're learning, and also in the way they look at the world around them. That's
so
also important.
They grow up becoming more responsible citizens.
Yes.
Okay. We constantly in different YWCAs we keep saying the young women are not coming. How did you manage to pull in?
I managed to pull in students because I was teaching. So I was there. I think the way to encourage this youth involvement is approaching the colleges, maybe have a program for the staff. Something that's interesting, the staff will feel that they can get involved, because most colleges have a lot of clubs, and they do encourage, NSS, NCC, all this kind of stuff. So they do have these things happening in colleges, and principals are open to this. So encouraging staff to get involved, have a program with them, go to the college, talk about YWCA, what we have to offer, and then once the staff become members, then you can get them to mentor or to coordinate this or to convene this group of students, and they can start encouraging young people. And now what happens is, we have if you have one unit in one college, you can have the young members who are involved in that college to go to another college and conduct a small program. It could be from one young person to another young person. It helps when they are able to relate. If you say it's a movement, if you're from one state, it sounds it sounds too serious.
Yeah.
We need to see what will interest them. I'm not saying that we're making it frivolous, no. But there are young people out there who are conscious, who are aware, and who want to know. But they just don't have the right space or the right place to go. And if we do this, we can encourage young people to go to other colleges and talk about how they are involved. It makes more sense. than me going standing somewhere and giving this speech and coming back. It doesn't make sense. If you have the young people, maybe put up a small skit. See, that's the thing, with Bangalore YWCA, we started having the small, we were encouraging theatre stuff, have music, have choreography, have plays. This is a way to encourage them. And young people will also come up with a lot of ideas on fundraising. Because people have, and a lot of young people also have this misconception that YWCA is about tea parties, which is completely untrue. And when they come there, they find that it's different. So have programs by the young people, of the young people, and for the young people. And then it makes sense for them. You're allowing them to express their creative ideas, to take on organizational sort of roles, to take on leadership role, and leave it to them. And sometimes they can come up with brilliant programs. That's the way. That's one way. Okay. And when you go to colleges, you're addressing a wide range of students. We're crossing all barriers. You have different linguistic groups, different income groups. I'm just giving you two examples because that's where you're approaching the whole society in the college. You're not having barriers. You're not restricting yourself to a certain group of students. It's encouraging young people to get involved.